Yo, what's good? It's Skano from the Gutter News. This is a story that's making national headlines here out of Charlotte. If y'all haven't heard about the situation where, DeCarlos Brown stabbed this white Ukrainian woman, the refugee, right on the transit, on the train. Stabbed her in the neck 3 times. She bled out right there. I mean, there's people all around. This is a crazy story, man. It is. I mean, I don't know where to. Nobody did nothing. I mean, I understand that the average person is not trying to, risk their life for a stranger. Or you would think that one individual instinctively would, I mean, people are literally just acting like, it's just another day on the fucking transit. Like, what? Somebody just got stabbed in the neck, man. This dude strolls off like, yeah. So they caught up with him. He's cooked. They hit him with a hate crime. It said that he uttered, yeah, I got that white girl. I don't know the accuracy of that or, but I'm not about to, damn sure not about, there's no justification for this. But I do want to make a point. While this is national news, man, I mean, all the major CNN, even Trump took time out of his, schedule to tweet on this, you know. But you know what isn't national news? You know what Trump isn't tweeting about? These 3 young black medical students in Mount Washington, Ohio, they got gunned down by this white Neanderthal. 26-year-old Samuel Erickson, shot these 3, like I said, young black medical students. Shot them down like rabid dogs and then turned to, hammer on himself, off himself. Now, what prompted all this? I can only speculate because, like I said, there's no motive being released. This occurred almost a week ago. No motive. Very little information, actually. I had to dig around just to even get the little details that are being offered. Why isn't this national news? I believe they're Ethiopians. Not that that matters. Not in this case. So regardless of what I get up here and I talk about Africans, we have our little, but when it comes to situations like this, I don't give a damn if you're Ethiopian, Ugandan. You're one of ours. 20-year-old Stephen Yaduda, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing these names right. 22-year-old Eden Yaduda, I believe brother and sister. And 27-year-old Finette DeReese, unrelated. I believe the 27-year-old at some point was, at this medical center too, but has since graduated or moved on. But, what prompted, like I said, what prompted, who knows? Who knows what's going through the head? You got a lot of people in society, and they may seem normal on the surface, You got a lot of people that play crazy, but like I said before, it's the people that's trying to play normal you need to worry about. So this dude, this roach, Samuel Erickson, he sat in this vehicle, an hour at least, across the street from where this shooting occurred. Got out the car, prowled around the medical center and just lurking. But how do I know this? Because he was approached by a neighbor, a middle-aged white man, older white man. Because this neighbor observed, like I said, this Caucasoid behaving, kind of oddly. He stood out. for even being a white person. If you stand out to another white person, you definitely on some weird shit. So he approached the guy, and they had an interaction, I guess cordial. And he asked him if he was okay. The shooter, that is. He asked the shooter. You know, the man's dog approached the shooter, and he and this neighbor says that he stated to the roach that you have a friend for life there, in which this caucasoid replied, maybe for the next few minutes. You can leave now. Okay. So the neighbors said, yeah, out his own mouth, yeah, he definitely struck me as odd, but you never thought to call the police. You saw this man lurking around, prowling, looking out of place. Like I said, even for a white person, he was looking strange and out of place. But you never thought to call law enforcement, did you? Because you never could have fathomed that one of your own could do something so heinous and nefarious, right? I guarantee you, had it been a black man, hell, even two young black youths on a bike, just, posted in the sidewalk, you would have thought that was suspicious as hell. You'd have called the police on them. Maybe I'm being, a bit pessimistic. So, after their little brief exchange, the neighbor went on about his business. Not long after, this Neanderthal guns them down in cold blood, like rabid dogs. Now, witnesses say they heard a muffled argument. I don't know what they could have been arguing about. This dude did attend this medical center also. I could speculate, we could all speculate what led up to this. Maybe it was jealousy, you know? Maybe he felt they were taking an opportunity from him that he was more deserving of. Who the hell knows? But I do know that our media is partly responsible for the atmosphere that permeates this country, in regard to immigrants and black folks too. That's always been the case, popping out the dog whistles. So like I said, this is this is national news. Everybody's talking about, what happened in Carolina and Charlotte. But you ain't heard nothing about what happened in Ohio, probably, huh? So, after killing these three medical students, he turned the gun on himself, but no motives. Mental illness is definitely, I think it's one of the biggest issues in this country, and when you got people walking around stressed out and they mentally, just not all the way there. It don't take much, But these are two cases where vastly different. But I'm talking about as far as how they are being reported. That's what I'm talking about. So I'm not trying to justify what happened in Charlotte. It's not a case of tit for tat. Well, But we are marginalized, not just systemically, as it applies to the media also. Because they pick and choose which narratives they want to push. Be vigilant, man. I mean, I don't need to say that, But gone are the times where you could just, bump shoulders with randoms out here and you get things off your chest. You may have a disagreement, and that's where it ends. Not now. Not now. Anything now is grounds, to get you murdered, But I don't want to get off track. My whole point is we need to keep the same energy. I'm talking about the media. And, there's a lot of questions that, the Charlotte judicial system has to answer, as to why, I mean, people are gonna slip through the cracks, man. This dude, DeCarlos, 14 arrests since 2001, in and out of mental facilities. But like I say, how do you anticipate shit like this? And just because somebody has mental illness or they homeless, don't mean they should be demonized or. But the signs. So like I said, man, while a lot of y'all be out here playing crazy, it's the people that's playing normal that you have to worry about. But as for these three medical students, condolences to their family, and there won't be any straightening, for their loved ones. Because like I said, dude, this coward, you know, ate his own gun after the fact. So they people just left, with heartache and questions. What led up to this? What is law enforcement? Because I've been checking this story. I've no new information. Are they even trying to find out what led up to this? You know what I'm saying? Some past history, We know nothing about this Samuel Erickson. But DeCarlos Brown Jr., on the other hand, trust me, before this month is over, y'all know all about him. They'll make sure of that. I mean, you're going to know his surname. You're going to know where his birthmark at. You're going to know his nickname, all that. They're going to provide all that. But, like I said, man, as far as these three young, beautiful black future doctors who were stolen away from their family by this white caucasoid mutt roach, just left with questions. Well, it is what it is, man. No ops left, Skano.